All right. So this is their radio. Today we have a special guest. We have Edgar. Edgar, if you
What's
could
up?
please introduce yourself, who you are, what you do.
All right, bet. What's up? I'm Edgar, and I'm a graphic designer. I'm a graphic designer for Nothing Personal and Cielos.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool. Well, why don't we start off with that? How did you become a graphic designer for Nothing Personal?
Oh, basically just I was doing designs on my own time, and I found out about Blazzy, and he's the one that runs Nothing Personal. I found out about him because he made this video with Chinatown, and he was doing like a tutorial on how to make a T-shirt. Um, and that shit was like very inspiring. And then I saw like another like, I was like, oh shit, he's like Mexican too. So he obviously like I was like, oh, I could kind of relate to him and stuff.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I didn't know people were like doing that in the industry, and so I would reach out to him and. I would just like send them like shitty designs, and then just looking back at them, they're very very bad. But he liked one of the ones that I did. He saw a little like promise on it, and he just let me to work. He just let me like keep working on it. And you know what? Eventually, nothing came out of it. Like, and that's like 80% of the job, where it's you just keep designing and then nothing comes out. But and that's one of them. But it's through the work and the process that really like puts you out there, especially like people in the industry where they really see like, okay, it didn't come out, but like he has good work ethic and whatever. And that's when he knew about me and started following me. And then it wasn't until I made like this fake LeBron James video game that I did, that he reposted that. And then eventually I made a rug too, and it was like a Jesus like crucifixion rug, and he really liked that. And that was when he told me like, yo, pull up to the office and pull up with the rug. And then I met the team and whatever, and they really fucked with me. I really fucked with them, and then I just started working it with them.
That's sick because actually one of the first things that I saw from you was basketball related.
Yeah.
It was actually a shirt you had mocked up with during the bubble.
Oh yeah.
It was Lakers versus Clippers.
Yeah.
And that I mean that never happened, but
Never
that
did, bro. I jinxed it, man. I fucking jinxed it. It was crazy. And then oh my god, you read the comments, bro. Everyone's making fun of me and shit, like, cause I gotta admit, I'm a Clippers fan.
Shit, so am I.
Yeah, that's what I remember. Do you know my friend Yasmin and Diana?
Yeah.
They sent me one of your articles, and it was on how you became a Clipper fan.
That's
And
crazy.
I read that. Yeah.
So you're the friend. They told me we're gonna share it to a friend who's also
yeah.
from East LA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And and I was like, damn, this is so relatable. Like, you only see every time you go to the park, you see the Clippers sticker on the on the courts. Like, that's who was sponsoring it. Like, you see the little kids with the jerseys on, and it's all sponsored by the Clippers.
Yeah. That's crazy because honestly, the Clippers were one of those teams that like that I knew about, but kind of like I never saw, just because I don't know. It's just kind of one of those like just wanted to be an outsider kind of things, and always felt like I was an outsider with like all of it, with like even just growing up with family and with like neighbors that were like into like rancheros and corridos and stuff like. And my family were sonideros, It's like it's Mexican, but it's hella different. You know what I mean? And it felt like that in LA, where it's like it's LA, but it's different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what it felt like to me. But that's wild. So then you made that shirt.
Yeah.
And you say you jinxed it.
I did. I really thought we were going to the Western Conference finals against the Lakers, and I just mocked it up. I think we were up 3-1 at that point.
We were.
I just gotta make it. I just gotta mock it up.
Yeah, don't bring it up.
Yeah,
don't
dude.
bring it up. You're about to cheat.
No, man.
Who you got the finals though? Who you
We
got in the
did
finals?
get there, and that was when but Kawhi was injured. Paul George was going through some shit, and and then who was it again?
Dude, Reggie was going off that.
Yeah, Reggie.
Reggie.
Yeah, big government, but yeah, dude, and that's how I found out about you, and it was like such a good article, and then I was like, then you hit me up about like, okay, you're gonna.
Yeah, dude. No, because I saw that, and I saw them also reposting your stuff, and I'm like, damn, this shit's sick, dude. Like, you're doing this, and then I saw that you had also done like with other artwork with like rock inspired.
Yeah. Yeah.
So a lot of your earlier work, it does seem like it's kind of like a more like black and white, like a lot more like, stenciled out and stuff. But I do want to ask you, where did that love for graphic design, or for just for like drawing and making art come for you?
I would say I would just like drawing class, maybe like that's what I would really do. I would try to be a STEM kid. Like I try, but I was just never good, bro.
STEM kid.
Like I got into AP Chem and this other AP like science class, I forget, in high school, and I really did it because my parents wanted me to become like, like, oh, quiero que seas licenciado or like un doctor or whatever.
Yeah.
So I really tried, but I just even I went to college and I tried like getting a STEM degree, but
what did you try for?
I got a geography major. But the funny thing about it is it's the only STEM major that doesn't require math. So that's why I became a geography major. And then some like freshman year, some guy was just telling me like, oh yeah, these guys are going to make hella money. It's the future of government work. And just, I mean, yeah, they make cool money, but it's just that what they don't tell you is you're just on a computer in a cubicle all day. Like, just like, bro, like anyone could make this. Anyone, it's basically like, I was just tracing lines over power lines, water lines, and all they needed me to do was like, oh yeah, just digitize this and that. Like anyone could do that, right? And it just it got to me, and I just couldn't do it. And that's, I guess, going back to what you said on how I got into. Damn, sorry, I go like everywhere.
No, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I would just draw a lot. My binders were full of drawings, and I wasn't even like good at drawing. So maybe that would push me into graphic design. Just I don't need to know how to draw really.
Yeah.
But I just really need to know how I want to compose the artwork. Like, oh, I want to put this person here. I want to put a car there, a skyline in the back, whatever. And
it's just learning how to put things together as well, right?
And just having a vision for it.
A vision, that's what it is. I do want to ask you, what was that moment where it made you pivot and shift? You know what, this isn't what I'm gonna do, geography, and I'm gonna fully pursue this. Was there a moment, or was there something someone said to you to cause that?
No, I think it was more of I would say like a snowball effect, where obviously at that time when I did finally make the switch, I was doing full-time geography, like whatever related work I had, and then I was also doing full-time graphic design with I would try to go to the office with Blazzy and work over there too, and it was just the snowball of I was doing more and more and more, and it got to the point actually where something happened, and it made me realize, like life tomorrow's not guaranteed. So and I'm so young, and it's I don't get the opportunities that I have right now that or people wouldn't get that opportunity, right? And so I just need to take it, and that thing really like made me well, it's what happened was my friend passed away, and then he it just that whole thing made me like think like, damn, my bad, made me really think like this tomorrow isn't really guaranteed. I just got to go for it. And what's crazy is that same day that my friend that passed away, Zeke, I get the call from Blazzy that same day, and it was so crazy. He's like, hey, it was when he like officially like wanted me to start working full time at the office, and it was just like, okay, like this is a sign. And what's that one saying, like they close a door on you but opens another one.
Yeah.
And it just felt like that, and it was like, okay, that next day I just put in my 2-week notice, and then I started doing it full time.
Yeah. Damn, that's wild. That's a lot to happen in one day.
It's insane.
Do you feel like, do you still hold that inspiration with you at all times when creating and when doing, is just like kind of, I don't know, I guess holding that remembrance for your friend or that closeness with him? Or I guess my question is, how do you keep that memory alive?
Oh, with him, I don't know if necessarily I keep it alive with the art that I do.
Okay.
I think it's more of just I just think about him once in a while, and I go talk to friends, and we had a cool knit group, and then we would just talk about him. It just keep like talking about him. I feel like keeps him alive, right?
Yeah.
So, but I don't think like I've ever done that through art. I don't know if it's a bad thing or a good thing. It's just I think it was more of sorry. I think it was more like that moment was a catalyst for me, and obviously like I'd much rather him be like obviously I'd much rather him be still here than for me to have that aha moment, right?
Yeah.
That's so much what I'd rather do. But it sucks that things happen that way.
I do want to ask you more now about your brand Cielos, because Cielos is a very dope brand that each season it's like you do something that's totally different from the last. Thank you. And I'm like, damn, that's wild. So it's like you're dabbing into these different things, but how did that come together? What made you want to start that?
It was like this guy, well, obviously, Blazzy, and working with them, like everyone just working with them, they just like they're telling me like it's cool being a graphic designer and working commissions and doing work for other brands, but it was through Blazzy, my friend E, who owns a brand called Hectic, and also another friend too, Nick, who one of the owners of Runs. He would just keep talking about like, this is cool money, but you really make real money off owning a brand, and then that's really where your work is gonna pay off. And I was like, okay. And at the time I was super broke, and just anyone promising me like more money, like would I was like, okay, but I'm just gonna follow I'm just gonna follow your advice, right? And and I think that was one of the aspects, is just I just wanted to do that. And plus I kind of had an idea of what I wanted to do with my brand too, from like the beginning of when I started graphic designing. Okay. It was just and maybe you guys could tell, it's like packaging is what I really wanted to make an emphasis on my brand. It's something that I really don't see in my space until like recently, or maybe there was, but like I'm not, at the time I wasn't really into streetwear like that, or like into street brands, but I wouldn't see it so much, so I just wanted to be one of those brands like, okay, I could really stand out, and that's how I started. And also shout out to E. He was the one that gave me the name, because we were like, I'm really bad with like coming up with names and stuff. When you gotta write like an essay and you gotta come up with a title or something, like I hate that. And or like a YouTube, I don't know, like whatever. But we just started brainstorming, and then he came up with, oh, what about Cielo? And I was like, oh, that's hard, but I added the S at the end.
You mentioned marketing. I mean, not marketing. Packaging was really important to you.
Yeah.
What made you care so much about the packaging, or about packaging? Because if you see some of your packaging, there's like the last one you did, it's just socks, but they're like, they're socks, and they're like rolled up like an orange, and they're put inside a bag, like those like orange bags. Yeah. So like the packaging is like hella cool. But
actually brought them here.
Oh shoot!
Yeah,
Well, we're gonna about to see. Look at the wild packaging, but like, see, bam, right there. Like, what? Look at that packaging. That's sick. But like, that's what I'm saying. Like, these are socks. You know what I mean? It's socks, and it has amazing packaging. Damn, appreciate it.
And a wallet. This is like for me apologizing for like flaking the other week.
Ah,
like,
damn.
I'm so sorry.
That's wild. No, I appreciate. Nah, flake again, dude. Thanks so much, dude. Look at this. This is wild. Look at that. Y'all don't need Levi's. You got Cielos right here. But like, look at the packaging is amazing. Yeah. Like, what made you care so much about that? Why was that important to you?
I think it's like just the unboxing experience adds a whole nother level to things. Like, just imagine an iPhone if you get that in a cheap plastic bag. Like, it would not be the same, you know? But it obviously, like, bro, these are just like orange socks. Obviously, like, I make sure that they're, you know, these are good quality socks. And you don't really see a lot of these socks with the rubber patch. You don't really see that. But, you know, ultimately, that's what they are. They're just socks. And but it's just really that packaging that puts it to the next level. And it's, you just want to, I don't know, like, unboxing it is cool. And it's cool marketing too. Like, people are going to want to like make a video of opening these orange socks or opening a Snorlax box. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, that's just an added element that I really appreciate whenever I buy things. Like, even like when I order things on Amazon, like, I love opening the Amazon box, or, you know, it's just, yeah.
That's so true. That's an experience that I think was definitely added with like, with this transition of buying a lot of things online, you know? And actually, just because that's a culture that's built on, I do want to talk about the culture of LA and if that's influenced you in any type of way. Because like I mentioned to you earlier before we started the interview, was that I was at the Callejones a few weeks ago. Yeah. And if you look at the Callejones all around, there's a lot of bootleg. There's a lot of like recreation of these different images. Yeah. Adidas, but only with 2 A's. Yeah. Yeah. Like, if you look at my old pictures of me, it's like everything I'm wearing was bootleg. But so I want to ask you, is that like, because in a way you're doing the same thing, right? You're recreating these images and this imagery. Yeah. And you're giving it your twist and a different kind of take. Does that culture inspire you in any type of way?
Yeah, I would say so. I think I like, for sure, I would go see the bootleg like rock tees, the Caifanes tees, or, you know, whatever they have over there, the El Tri tees, anything like the Smiths. I would get a bunch of those T-shirts too, and they're all bootleg. And for sure that would inspire me. Like, these guys, obviously, they're making money being here, like, and then and then they're just ripping off, like, you know, they're not even like, but for sure I think that's inspires me. And then and it's funny that you say that too, because I know Menace did it already, but like, one of my first thoughts of like starting a brand too was like, damn, it'd be so dope to have a pop-up right there at the Callejones. It'd be so dope to do that. And then Menace did it. I was like, oh. But that won't stop me. I'll probably do it again. I'll probably, you know?
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah. No. Hey, man, pop up at the swap meet. You never know. But it's like, it's also brands that are there, like Menace and like Paisa Boys. And then there's also Nothing Personal. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you see a lot of like these like Mexican American, Chicanos, Latinos that are doing it. Does that also like inspire you? Or For sure. You know, what do you think of that, of that group of people that are coming up together?
No, like I said, like, it's just seeing Blazzy doing like work for Chinatown. Obviously, Steve Menace doing that kind of work. Paisa Boys too. All of these brands, like, and then even some that you don't even like realize, like the one of the owners of Half Evil, like he is like Hispanic too. Like, it's just people, like, you don't realize, like, a lot of these spaces are owned, like, designed by, you know, curated by anything. Like, a lot of these are Hispanic people really like designing. And it's just super motivating, and it's very comforting to know that you know, a lot of these people come from the same place that I do. So I think it's No, yeah.
It's funny you say that because that's also what I think of when I think of LA. It's just like a lot of people behind a lot of things are Latinos.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Nah, you're right. Like if you think about like in the terms of I don't know, what would you say,
like food, a lot of food is Latino.
I was
like
gonna say that.
like even like making the clothing, a lot of like the clothing that's being made in LA is also by Latinos, you know.
Printers, yeah.
So that's wild. Going a little bit more into your brand, there I do see that your brand is the logo, you know. And I don't know if this is connected with it or before it, but the name I saw before it was ESPN Machiavelli.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's connected with it or what's the connection between all of that.
Damn, that's cool that you caught that, because it is because I first had a brand called Machiavelli, and then I don't know, it just sounded like a little too like evil, so I didn't want that. I don't want that bad energy, and so that's why I turned it into Cielos. But yeah, that's the logo. That's that was the original logo for that. And then for my first drop I did M&Ms. But the thing was that I wanted to redrop these small like M&M figures that I did. But the thing was that the logo from my previous band was already printed on there. But I want to really redrop them because I was going to do a shirt with it, and the packaging was going to be like an M&M candy wrapper. And I was like, it was so dope to drop these figures, do packaging for them. So I was like, okay, screw it. I'll just reuse the logo for Cielos. And that's really where it came in. And this logo, like it's like a upside down M, and you know, I just stuck with it, and it's just another like logo to put on packaging. Like if you notice, just had a packaging, it would have like a couple logos on the back. Like for example, like a CD, and it's just packaging within itself. It's like on the back of the cover art, at the bottom, it'd be like the logo of the sound guy, and then the logo of the label, the logo of the artist. Like it's just another logo to add, and just another like opportunity for me to fill space where it kind of needs something there.
No, that's real. So you also mentioned that like one of the first drops you had was the M&M ones, and I remember you showing a video of you hand painting all of them.
Oh yeah,
and doing all of that work, right? And then I think a few days ago I saw you took a photo of like hella packages that you were like ready to ship out or that were there. So I want to ask you, how has that been from growing the business for something like where you were like hand painting to something where you have to ship out like hella stuff?
Wait, were you like following me back then, or did you just
dude,
like,
I've followed you for a minute.
For real?
Yeah, I think I messaged you one time like, yo, I think your designs are hella dope.
Damn,
yeah. And then you were like, oh, I appreciate it, and then that's it. No follow back. I remember.
Bad, bro.
No, but I mean, I tap in.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, damn, you were really early, bro.
No, hell yeah.
Because like people don't ask me about the logo, or they don't ask me about ESPN Machiavelli. You know, when I was doing like sport graphics and stuff like that. That's thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
Yeah, dude. I'm also a journalist.
Yeah,
just saying.
Yeah, no, you for sure like studied it.
But yeah,
homework. But going to growing the brand from hand painting. I mean, I'm still at that stage. I feel, dude. Like the oranges. Like I'm doing this by hand too.
Oh wow.
I get the way they ship it to me is the socks are like they're just flat, and I just make sure I get them into a ball. Make sure they look like cool. I make sure that the little label is sticking out. And then this, you know, I get this printed at I got these printed at FedEx, and then the net, like I just bought them out on I bought them on Amazon, and I just, you know, put it together. Like I'm still doing it by hand. Oh wow. It's very rare that I don't have a very hands-on experience with the packaging. Like even with this, like the wallet, like it comes in like hella, like it came like in a little plastic bag. I mean, it's not that it's a big difference from doing this to this, but you know, it had its own thing that I had to like make sure that this looks presentable, you know. This is looking presentable too. Like even the Gengar boxes, the Snorlax boxes, like those come in flat, and then the hoodies are shipped separately, and then the pins are shipped separately too. So I you know,
damn. Yeah.
I put all of it together.
Mm-hmm. Is it just you, or does anybody help you with that process?
Oh, I got my family working with me.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Do you like pay them as well for their? Damn.
Yeah, they don't like getting paid. they just want to be like, they want to fight like, oh, we just do it out of love. But like, at this point it's too much for me to. It's to the point where like if I don't pay them, it's like I'm exploiting them now. Like it's not, you know what I mean? Like they're working a couple hours, they're taking a couple hours out of their day to help me. Like I just feel like I take them out and then I give them a couple, some money. And I have my dad is really good at boxing, the everything, and then my mom loves like my mom like assembles the packaging, and I'm just there helping out too with assembling. Yeah, it's a whole team.
Wow, how does that feel, being able to like support your family, whether it be a couple dollars or being able to provide like a good amount of money and work for them? How does that feel for you?
It feels really like good to do that. I always wanted I'm very close to my family, so for me to be able to do that with them, it feels like I could like I don't know how to express my emotions towards it, just because it's so positive, I would say. Yeah, but I'm just so happy that I got like a good family, and they're very supportive of what I do, and for them to help me out, it just makes things so much easier, because I could be very like awkward sometimes, and antisocial sometimes. So for me to like reach out to friends, or like or maybe even like if I had to like hire someone, like some stranger, like that would be like a very awkward thing for me to do, and paying people too. So it just makes it so much easier for my family to be there and be so supportive. Like, and it not a lot of people are able to do that too, and I'm just very thankful, and I thank God that I was given this opportunity to employ my parents and my brother and my sister.
That's real. That's real. What do your parents think of that? Because earlier you mentioned that something that they wanted you to do was do STEM.
Yeah.
And then it's came to this position where like now they're even helping you with the business. Like, what do they think of all of that?
They put me on like a pedestal with the rest of the family. Like they think I'm gonna be some like billionaire now, but but back when I was starting to do graphic design, they were like very skeptical of it. They were not very they were like support, like, but I know that like they were very scared for me. Yeah, because I had when I really was getting into graphic design, I just had a year left with my degree, and I just talked about like, I don't want to finish school, I just want to do this. And then my mom was just like, just finish. So for sure, like the support, it eventually grew into like what it is now. And I think for them it was when I did the Gengar drop. Okay. And they saw that and how much it blew up, and then for them it was like, okay, like this is serious, and they now they don't like the socks, like they don't question it no more, no more. I like because like with my parents, they don't like get it, but like they I know that they don't get the socks, because they just kept asking me questions like, oh, but like, do you think like who would buy this? But they don't really like they just let me be, and it's just very it's very cool to have support like that.
That's awesome. You mentioned that one of the drops blew up. Like, what do you credit that to? Like, that has helped build your brand to a place where it's at now.
I think it would. Well, one of the things would probably be the packaging for sure, where it just adds another layer of unboxing it, and then obviously like the people like pushing me to, because I don't think I'm good at marketing. Like to come up with my own idea in marketing, like for example, like the oranges, like I just ripped that off of some like old like orange juice commercial, you know. But I don't know if I'll be able to come up with that on my own. So that's where being at the office, working with Blazzy, working with Nate, working with E, working with Six, working with Chris, like all these guys, right? It really like helps me. They really help me with those kind of areas where like, oh, you should make a video unboxing it and put it on TikTok. Oh, your carousel, like the first picture should be like eye candy, and then the second one should be like a video of unboxing. Like they just help me through the whole process of marketing through Instagram, through TikTok. And I would credit specifically the Gengar one. I would credit that a lot of it to E, because he made a video like just talking about the product, and that thing blew up. And then I wake up the next day because I remember like the Gengar did not do well the day of. Like I sold maybe like 20 boxes. And for me to be in the green, I had to sell like I think 100 of them. So I was gonna lose profit there. And then he's like, "Don't trip." He makes a video on it, and then it just blows up. I wake up the next day, and then I got like a couple hundred sales, and like, oh wow, that's amazing.
That's wild. That's cool though. That's cool that you do have not only family, but you have friends who are down to also support you in different ways. You know. Because that's what it is as well. It's just and something that conversation I've had with people in different formats is like even talking about music. Like some of these products are pushed for a minute and with hella money behind it. So that the fact that you're able to do it with support with friends in any type of capacity is hella dope and hella inspiring. I do want to ask you as well, because I mentioned this earlier, is that each season or each drop, it's something very different. Right. Like if we see here, like this was inspired by like baseball, and then this is fruits, and then that's jeans. Where do you get that inspiration from, or like how do you decide on what your next drop is?
It's just whatever. There's not like a roadmap really. I think this year I started to make a roadmap as to like I set myself to okay, I want to do 2 video game drops, and I want to do 2 like CD drops, and do an interactive collection. This is the first year I'm doing that, and let's see how it goes. But it's really like the oranges, I was just thinking about like it just came to my head, and then I put everything else aside, and I decided to drop this, you know. It's very chaotic. The way that I it's not very like organized really. It's just whatever I think needs to get dropped at the moment. Like I remember posting these on my close friends, the oranges, and then everyone just loved them, and people were telling me like, drop these next month, because you just never know that maybe someone's gonna come up with that same idea. Oh, that's true. And then because it's happened before too. Oh wow. So then I was like, okay, because I was supposed to drop like a compilation of Mexican rock drop. I have that coming out next, but I put that aside. Okay. Because the homie George told me like, you know, you're already known for the boxes, like the video game boxes and the CD boxes. Like no one's gonna do that, but this is like something new, and you should just drop it now. And like okay, and but I did mention that like someone had an idea that I had, and then at the same time too, and then they just drop it first before the rock one. No, not. I'm talking about the wallet. Oh like wow. Someone but it's a little different, but it's still the same concept. Oh wow. Where I already had this sampled. I had it in my hand, and then that day that I had this in my hand, someone drops a video of a wallet that attaches to the tag of your jeans, and then you know it's the same thing. It works differently because this is like a card holder, and theirs was a wallet, and I feel like this is more practical. But you know, like now I have to drop this now, you know. I learned my lesson. Like I think it's whenever I come up with a good idea, and it's very like no, you don't really I've never seen it. Like those are the ones I'm gonna prioritize, and then I drop those first.
That's dope. That's dope. I do want to ask you about something. Like I was watching a video. I'm on TikTok and I've been following different people, and always this video of I don't know if you've heard of it, but of like that Virgil Abloh 3% thing.
Yeah.
that always pops up in me. So I want to ask you, is that something that you like, that you've ever thought about, or that you think is true, or you think it's not true, or like, I don't know, what are your thoughts on that 3% Virgil? Well, for y'all who don't know, 3% just pretty much means like something that already exists and then just making like a small shift with it, like Virgil Abloh did it with Nike, with like just moving the logo like a little bit lower and whatnot, right?
Yeah. Man, R.I.P. Virgil, and I think it does apply. I think putting your own aspect to things, for sure it has to be a thing. It's not. I don't think it's a thing that I'm constantly thinking about, but like if you could apply it to what I do, for sure. Like this is just it's just a card holder, and then I guess my 3% would be like, oh, it looks like the gene tag. So you know what I mean? Like it's just for sure. I think 3% does apply. Like I'm trying to think of something that I've done, like it really like cements that, but that idea.
No, I just thought I had to ask, just because that's something that I seen a lot, and I seen as something that, because at the end of the day, I think the main point of that is that people like to see something they're familiar with, and then build off of that. And that's a lot of the connection that I made with your product as well, is that there's a familiarity with it, whether it be the corrido packaging. You feel that familiarity with like bootleg CDs, with music, and with the older T-shirts. And I think that's a way that you've also done it with not just Latino culture, but just culture in general, where you're just like remaking it and making it new and fresh in a different way.
Yeah, because I think we've all have similar experiences, and then it's so much easier to communicate an idea that's you have some familiarity with it, something you're familiar with. It's just so much easier to do. Bro, you're so good at like talking about products and my brand, bro. Like I need to hire you to write my Instagram posts.
Hell yeah, I'm a writer. You know that. You wrote my article.
I need a writer, bro. I'm not that good at spelling or anything. No, I definitely agree. It's just so much easier to communicate a product when it's something that you instantly recognize. You see it on TikTok all the time too. It's like, oh, this is something, and then they just flip the switch and it's something new. I was like, it's cool.
Yeah. Last question I have for you. What vision do you have for yourself and for Cielos? This can be, this can be small, this can be big, it can be whatever plan, whatever vision you have for it and for yourself.
Probably like, just my vision, just being able to do it forever, so like, just forever, so like the day I die, like I just want to do this. Like I just want to keep being creative. Maybe, my next step I want to do like pop-ups, and to me, that's like even thinking small, like I could do a pop-up if I wanted to tomorrow, but big idea, maybe like it'll be also a catalyst for my own my personal artwork, because I feel like I always talk about it with my friends, where I eventually also just want to be in an art gallery, and I want to show work like that. I want to paint, and I want to do sculptures, and I want to do some cool stuff, like something interactive as well. Like I've had this idea of I want to, like, for my first art gallery, and I really wish that I could do that next year, where it's just a bunch of vending machines, and inside the vending machines, it like tells a story of like the little muñecos or whatever toys. Maybe they're trying to get out the vending machine, or they're like living their normal lives. Like, I don't know, something cool. Like I would love to have work displayed in our art gallery, and then in Cielos would be a catalyst for that, like, it'll be like, oh, that's the guy doing Cielos and he's doing an art gallery. Like I'm hoping that would motivate people to go see my artwork, and that would be, just doing it forever, being able to work with my family and make sure I'm paying them and paying my friends who are working with me too. Like that's ultimately what I want to do. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Do you feel like Cielos and your graphic designs have helped you with your own personal goings and like just approach on life and stuff?
Yeah, I think it's I just wake up and that's what I think about. I used to just not think about what I wanted to do for the day. I would wake up and I just kind of like, okay, I gotta go to work now, and we'll come back, and I wouldn't, like, it was just mundane stuff. And now, like, I wake up and it's all I'm thinking about graphic design, and so the days go by faster now, and it's much more exciting. And I don't really like give myself time to get, like, too into my head, because I'm just so busy now that that I'm having fun, and I'm so grateful to do what I do. Mm-hmm.
Right on. Well, that's it. Their radio. Thank you so much, Edgar, for coming through. I appreciate you giving us your first interview.
Yeah.
And hopefully there's many more, and hopefully we see that rock drop and we see Cielos grow, and we'll see you in gallery soon.
All right, man. Thank you so much, bro.